What's going on, people? Lot going on. Lot going on. Came in a little later after the came in a little later after countdown. You guys holding me accountable. I love that. I love that. We're going to be spilling the tea. We're going to be spilling the tea. If you don't want spoilers, don't be in here. If you don't want spoilers, don't be in here. Guys, we got a couple subscribers coming in. Ladyboy City, Elizabeth Pierce, ZB. Thank you all for subscribing to the channel. We're here. Hi from Long Island, yo. Everybody shout out where they're coming in from right now. Everybody shout it out where you at. Cheers. It's Friday. Where are we all coming from, people? Where are we all hanging out on this Friday? Are we at work? Are we hanging home? What are we doing? Seattle, Canada, New Hampshire, Southern India. Happy Friday, bro. Shelby, shout out. Ontario, Canada, Quebec City, Visalia. I want to say that's got to be Canada. Alberta, Montana. I'm in the house chilling. Let's go. Toronto. I'm in the house chilling like Brochella. South Florida, working from home. I love it. Home watching the feed. Shelby, let's go. That's what we're here to talk about. That's what we're here to talk about. There's a lot going on right now on the feeds. We'll do a little bit of chatting first, a little Q&A. If you guys have any questions, fire it away, and then we'll get right into it. Orange County, California. Let's go. Ryan, New York. Healthy Loving coming in from New York. Shelby from Southern Indiana. Real Tyranny from Montana. Love that. The Cat from Alberta. William from Quebec. Patricia from Ontario. And then I saw Denise right away. Denise was the first one in here. Denise is like sitting here be like, he'll be here soon. Like, Denise is the seasoned vet. Denise knows what's going on. Denise is like, all right, the countdown may be hitting, but sometimes it takes them a second. What's up, Preston? This is the best season since 17. I think this is a great season. I think this is a great season. When are you dropping the interview with Joseph? So we're going to record tomorrow. It'll most likely be dropping tomorrow. I'll be dropping tomorrow. Can you put new videos of your soccer skill training? I sound like a broken record. So in order to do that, I would have to re-record everything. I would have to re-record it, which I could. I could do that on this channel. I just haven't gotten around to doing that. Visalia, California. Where is that? Rob from Chicago. How you doing? Let's see. Where is that? Where are we at in Cali? Where are we at? Let's zoom out. Because you're right in the middle, like north of Los Angeles, south of San. You're like right in the middle of LA and San Fran. But like dead center, not near the coast. Dead center of Cali. It's crazy. You learn something new every day. Love you too, Denise. Denise gets it. I can download his streams if you get YouTube Premium. Oh, you can download these if you get YouTube Premium. Oh, I love that. I didn't know that. Let's go. Hey, Cody just subscribed. I haven't seen any of the subscriptions come through just yet. Iman, so I'm just waiting. BB24 is tied with BB20 in my opinion. BB20 was a really liked season. Big Brother 20 was a really liked season with Tyler, Casey. You know, that was a good one. Who's it? Rockstar. It was like, you know, really liked. Despite everyone vilifying Kyle, I still appreciate him as a character, but I don't like how he handles his gameplay. Yeah, I mean, it's tough. The whole situation with Kyle is tough. But I'm not here to talk about Kyle as a person. I'm here to talk about, you know, gameplay. And what Kyle did gameplay-wise was exactly what he needed to do. I like how many Canadians are here. Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. I feel like I should make my way back up to Canada. You know what I'm saying? I've never been to Toronto. Montreal was amazing. When I went to Edmonton, it was amazing. Where was the first place I went to? I want to say I went to Alberta. I think I went Alberta. Then I flew to Edmonton. Then I flew home. And then I went to Montreal and for my buddy's bachelor party. And then I would really, really like to go to Toronto. I mentioned in All Stars that you're a great listener, but not a good reader of people. How do you claim that? Well, that's a really good question. That's a really good question. So my thing is that I'm not great at like having a conversation with somebody and like reading how they are immediately. I mean, I definitely gotten better at that. I think I got better at that by the time I was in All Stars, but I just, I don't. It's like when you view yourself a certain way, but then you do it differently, but it's still that perspective that you hold to yourself. Like, I don't know, another example is like I just hold myself as like a skinny kid. Like I just hold myself as like I just think I'm skinny, but like realistically I'm 185 with like 6%, 7% body fat. So like I'm not really that skinny. But I still feel skinny. Like I look at other people and I'm like, wow, they're big. I'm not big. But then if I stand next to them and like a third party is watching, they're like, no, you're the same size, or maybe you're bigger. So what I mean by that is like I'm great at analyzing different situations. Like I'm great at listening and remembering what you say to me. So I will listen to you and you'll say something to me, and then if we talk another time, you say something different. I'm like, why did it change? And then if you say something a third time that's different, or maybe you go back to the first time, I'll be like, that you're full of shit. But I'm not great at like having a convo, and I don't analyze people while I'm having conversations with them. I'm pretty just open to listening. I don't really judge people right off the bat. So I'm not analyzing somebody as I listen. So that's what I meant by that. You know what I mean? 33 chapter. So that's what I meant by that. I don't know if that makes sense. Cody, I always wanted to ask you, do you think there was any chance Enzo would have evicted Nicole? That man looked conflicted in the DR. As a Tyler fan, I wanted that so bad. Oh, man. Oh, God. Do I think there was a chance? Yes. I think there was a strong, strong chance that Enzo would have evicted Nicole. If Enzo and my relationship wasn't as strong as it was, and it honestly, I mean, my relationship with Enzo was carried on outside of the Big Brother house. We were playing together on Big Brother, but we clicked very personally. Like Enzo and I clicked on a much like bigger level than Big Brother. We just clicked. Like we're boys. Enzo and I are boys. And so, and this is what we always talk about it on the Winner's Circle. When you have that type of click with somebody, it wasn't just like, oh, I'm going to betray Cody in the game because that's how the game goes. It was like, I would betray my boy. And Enzo wasn't going to do that to me because that, and I wouldn't have done that to Enzo. I would never have done something where I left Enzo completely in the dark. So it goes both ways. And so that is why I think there was a chance, but then I think the relationship that Enzo and I had with one another made it like, I can't betray my boy. I'm not just betraying Cody, the Big Brother player. I'm betraying my boy, Cody. And so that's why I don't think he did it. But I think it was like Enzo was very strongly considering that. You've never been to Toronto downtown, really? It's different. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Do I think Monty teaming back up with the Pound is going to be a fatal flaw if he doesn't betray them next week? I don't think it's a fatal flaw. I think Monty saying, are we still Pound strong is crucial. It's important to have those conversations to make sure you clarify and then put that into Turner's head, which we've seen now that Turner is going all over the place right now. He's already promised everybody safety. So now we're seeing a Turner HOH that looked a lot like the Taylor HOH. And now it's tougher because there's less people. There's no like, oh, I'll just put these people up and see what happens. Like it's very different. It's Turner promising everybody safety is not great. You have YouTube Premium and still can't download. Okay. People bash Daly for letting Casey win, but we forgot that Tyler burned Scotty and Sam on their way out. I'm not sure. Are you saying people bashed Bailey for voting for Casey? Is that what you're saying there? You're trying to figure out how Enzo cut his leg on the challenge on last Wednesday's episode. I didn't watch the episode yet. My two favorites, Joseph and Michael, are going to be gone, and I'm so sad. Listen, let's not get ahead. Healthy Loving, let's not get ahead. There's still a veto comp. There's a lot going on. We're fine. Like, let's not count them out. Cody, what did Danielle have to say about Dick in the house? Not something that I'm going to talk about. I tried learning to be a better listener, reading your bio, and you mentioned you're a better Rubik's Cube. Yeah, my Rubik's Cube sits right here. So, I got to be honest with you. Becoming a better listener started with my acting training. When I started doing like very extensive acting training, I was training like 3 times a week in New York City for 2 years. And a big early phase of the acting technique that I was training in, which was the Miser technique, is like listening. Like overly listening, like listening for tones, listening for how somebody delivers something to you. Like just, it was this one thing called the it's like the repetition. I guess I'm not going to use the right term, but it's like a drill. Drill is like a sports analogy kind of term, but it's like the repetition. I'm going to call it drill for now. It's not the right term, but you're just repeating back and forth to each other, like everything. You don't change what you're saying. You just repeat, even if it's nothing. It's like, what's going on? 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 Until it finally like organically changes to like whatever you feel. Don't like try to change it. It's like got to be organic. And so I genuinely think that's why I feel like when I was coming back on All Stars, there was just so much more stuff that happened to me in my life that prepared me way more for that second go around than my first go around. But, you know, it's important to become more of like an active listener and being like an active listener and making sure that when somebody else is talking, you're not thinking about what you want to say back without actually fully listening to them. It is not an easy thing. And I don't say like I am not great at it, because there's times where like I'm having a conversation and somebody will be saying something and I'm already trying to jump in. And it's like, no, but you have to be self-aware. You have to be aware of that to start getting better at it. So it honestly, 33 chapter, it's a thing that nobody is perfect at it. Everybody can continue to get better at being like an active listener. Not everybody. I mean, I say not everybody. I would say most are not. Our nom's already out. No, they are not. By wording or meaning, you mean nonverbal listening. It's verbal and nonverbal. So like it's nonverbal listening, I feel like, is more like body language. I'm not great with that. Like, I don't know like body language cues that can make somebody, you know, like I understand the minor aspect of like not making eye contact, like maybe like shoulders down, chest up, different things like that. Like sitting in a closed off position with your legs crossed and your arms crossed is a little more closed off to somebody that's got their arms unlocked and they're open and they're listening to you. I'm talking about like how people deliver things, like their tones. Do you get what I mean? That's more what I mean by like even a nonverbal. My sister told me you had tuition debt and was stressed about it like crazy, unlike the last time. I had a lot of stress. There was a lot of different stresses coming in the second time. It was just a different aspect of my life. Like my tuition debt I still have my tuition debt. It was just a different aspect. I was older. I was in a serious relationship. I had different things. I was at a different point in my life where I wanted different things, you know, like, you know, as you get older, you want to have a family, you want to do all these things, you want to get married. So like that all, like none of this costs nothing. It costs money. It costs a lot of money. And so I was in there in a way different state than I was when I was 23 years old, fresh out of college, like still like, oh, I had my one job, I could still get another job. It's like, you know, I was just at a different phase in it. So it was like, it meant more to me the second time than the first time. Did acting help you in the Big Brother house? I would say so. I would say the aspect that I just described is what helped me. The technique of like really actively listening. I wouldn't say acting helps you in the Big Brother house because like we saw David, right? In the situation where David had the that power that he won in the basement where he could take himself off the block and then the HOH has to replace another nominee, but nobody knew about it, right? That like lightning bolt power. And like David was just acting in that scenario and was like really acting horribly. And so I don't know that I'm this great actor, but I know that the training that I was doing was allowing me to be more of like an active listener. And so I wouldn't say that acting necessarily helped me in the Big Brother house, but I would say that like the aspect of the training that I did that made me a better listener and really somebody that like became like I became more in tune when somebody was talking to me to really listen and digest what they're saying so that when I talk to them again, if they said something different, I'd be like, that was different than what you told me the first time. And then immediately in the Big Brother house, I'd be like, that's fishy to me. That's interesting. I don't know if I fully trust this person. Like Ian was a perfect example of that. Like Ian, I started noticing as he was coming to me and telling me things, he would talk to me and I would be like, you're talking to me this way right now. It's like, you're talking to me this way. You don't talk to me until somebody that you see that I'm close with is in power. Now I hear you talking to me this way. So it made me really not trust Ian, even though I love Ian to death. But it's just like when you really become more of an active listener and less of like a speaker, like, oh no, I need to jump in and speak, you know. That's really what I think helped me in the Big Brother house. Yeah, I remember seeing in the diary room after David tried acting to you, you cracked me up after seeing that you didn't buy it for a second. Yeah, that was one of my favorite moments. David like grabs me as I'm trying to walk past like the exit, like the front door to the Big Brother house. And we're right in that little like overpass thing. And he's like, Cody, did you, Cody, did you use the veto? I mean, did you use the power on me? I'm like, David, you're not fooling anybody. Just stop it. Just stop. Okay? You're not fooling us. I mean, Dan is a GOAT, though, and they just didn't want to give it to him. Yeah. No, well, I mean, Ian, so I think this needs to be, like, straightened out. Like, Ian definitely deserves to win. Like, Ian is a very deserving winner. It's just the conversation always comes up as to how he won. Like, it just sucked because it almost seemed like people just voted against Dan. Like, Dan could have been sitting next to a teddy bear. And it almost seems like they would have voted for the teddy bear over Dan. So that's why people have the conversation because they feel like Dan in season 14, which I totally can agree with, Dan was easily the best player in the house. Once Boogie went home, I thought Boogie was a beast, but Dan played him and sent him home. And so Dan's the best player in the house. And then he got all the way to the end. He made this insane funeral play, which was absolutely incredible. And then gets all the way to the end as a winner. That's where the conversations become like favored in one side. But now if you go on the other side, which is Ian couldn't have went home. By the time it was like final 7 on, Ian couldn't have went home. Ian won the competitions that would have allowed somebody to take a shot at him from final 7 on. It was like he either won the HOH or he won the veto. Like Ian was an absolute beast. Ian was very deserving of winning the game. It's just the whole conversation comes because it was against Dan and because of how well Dan played in that season. But that shouldn't take away from Ian being a very deserving and also not just a very deserving winner that season. Ian is literally, in my opinion, everybody could have their own opinion. He's one of the best players like that have played the game. I mean, if you talk about like strategic, not fan favorite, you know, because when you add the fan favorites in, then everybody skews the list. But like, really just Big Brother players, Ian is easily in like the top, I don't know, I want to say like 15 easy, probably top 10. How do you feel about Turner saying if Taylor ends up leaving this week, it's like she's my chess piece, unfortunately. Save her, bring her in, and take her out. It's like, my God, I don't care. I don't see the purpose in targeting Taylor. Like, I just don't see it right now. Like, I don't see, I mean, maybe. So this is what I was saying very early in the season. Like, Taylor, to me, would scare me if Taylor starts getting really close to the end. We're not really close to the end just yet. We have 8 people left in the house. We have half the cast left, right? So we're at the halfway point of cast numbers. Taylor, to me, is somebody that I don't want near the final 5, because that final 5, that once you get into final 5, like, anything can happen. Like, really anything can happen. I don't think right now Taylor's the one to be targeted. Taylor, if she gets to final 5, anything can happen. She wins a competition. She wins this. Taylor's in the final 2. Taylor's winning. Everybody's voting for Taylor. Because it's just such a turnaround, and everybody, I think, is fully aware of that. But right now, I wouldn't target Taylor. Like, Michael would be my biggest target. You would put Ian in top 5. Yeah, I there can be people that make an argument that Ian is a top 5 player. I don't put him on the Dan, Dr. Will, Derek, etc. tier, though. Ian was a beast in comps, average strategically and socially. Yeah, I would agree. And he was protected super early on in season 14, or he was going home. Like, if Boogie wasn't so good at the game, Ian would have went home early, because I want to say it was like week 1 when Boogie won the coach competition and he got the option to save one of his players. He saved Ian because he was well aware that the whole house, like, Ian just wasn't fitting in with people. Frank Udy was on his team. He was really fitting in, so he didn't feel like he was going to get targeted. And so if it wasn't for Boogie saving Ian and then shifting the target, ultimately he shifted it to another person on his team, but Udy ended up winning because he's a beast. Ian would have went home super early because of that social aspect, which is ultimately really not Ian's fault. I deserve my win. I appreciate that. I definitely feel like it would be best to put up Michael and Monty. All right, listen. Okay, so we waited, we chilled, we did a little bit of Q&A. So let's get into Big Brother 24. This is what we came here for. I was honestly, I was out. I rushed back here because I was seeing some of the stuff that was happening on the feeds. I was like, I need to go live. I need to talk to my people. I need to get out there. I need to spill some tea. We need to get on here. We need to talk. Okay, so let's talk Big Brother 24. Kyle, far and away the best strategist in the house. The fact he is where he is by making his game even harder is actually insane. Kyle is not far and away the best strategic player, the best strategist in the house. Michael is leaps and bounds ahead of Kyle. Kyle literally has chosen to... Kyle was in a situation with the leftovers where he could have just thrown competitions. Each veto that he won that put him in a bad spot, there was a member of his alliance as the HOH. He did not need to win these vetoes. And if Alyssa went home. It would have put Kyle in a much better situation, because then Kyle wouldn't have gotten the heat that he got. Now, with Kyle getting the heat that he got because he was choosing to go with Alyssa over the alliance, which I'm right here. I always go with the numbers. Alyssa is 1 person. The leftovers are 7. You go with the numbers. So I don't feel like Kyle is the best strategist. Kyle did a move this past week that worked in his favor because his back was against the wall. If the best strategists don't have their backs up against the wall, and this is why Michael, I've always been kind of on the fence with Michael, because as much of an incredible player he is and how strategically I think he's just leaps and bounds ahead of everybody, I don't understand why he would win as many competitions as he did as early as he did it. I just wish he wouldn't have done it, because it's unfortunately going to cause Michael, which we're seeing right now. Turner's thinking about backdooring Michael, because when you win as many competitions as Michael does, when it's obvious how good you are at competitions, nobody wants to give you the chance to play. Nobody wants to give you the chance to go any further, and nobody wants to sit next to you. And so that's why it's I won a ton of competitions on the All-Star season. I won one HOH and one veto for like the entire first half of the season. Then we got towards the jury part. You know, I didn't win. I threw the HOH to Danny. That was week 6. We were in jury at that point. The next HOH went to Memphis. We were in jury at that point. And then it was like at the next point, I was like, okay, I need to start winning competitions. I can't just keep throwing these competitions. Like, I can't keep throwing these away because I need to start getting in the habit and the routine of winning. But at that point, I was just winning a lot. And then everybody was like, oh my God, Cody's winning so much. But there was like 7 people left in the house. And so I was like, I was always competing. Michael's in a scenario right now where he can't compete for the HOH. He's in trouble. He's in trouble if he doesn't get picked for the veto. Big time. And that's because he won so many competitions early on. Kyle's so impressive, making his game 10 times harder than it already was. If he gets to the end, it will be the most impressive win maybe ever. Oh, that's a pretty hot take. He is making the game twice as hard on himself. I don't think he's getting to the end, but if he does, it would be a pretty incredible feat. Now, if he gets to the end, do you actually think he would get votes? Do you think he would get votes? I do not know that he would get enough votes to win at the end. I agree, no point in targeting Taylor. She won an HOH. She won a HOH, but the wall comp was hers to win. Soon Michael is going to be able to play every veto, and he will most likely win them all. Exactly. Exactly the point, Tiana. Exactly the point. There's really no point in targeting Taylor. I don't know why they would target Taylor. For me, it would either be Michael or his right hand, Brittany. That's what it would be for me if I was Turner. I'd be like, one of those two, they got to get split up. I need to make them weaker. And it's obvious that Michael and Brittany are as much of a duo as Alyssa and Kyle. Like, I mean, it's obviously a different type of duo, but the aspect of the duo where it's like they always have a vote, they're always going to vote similarly. Like, that is a very that is very important to have in the Big Brother house, but also to be aware of, to not keep around. Like, Kyle and Alyssa should be split up. Michael and Brittany should be split up. Nobody else has that tight of a relationship as those two duos. So if I was Turner, I'd be targeting Michael and Brittany. They'd both be on the block, because then if one of them come down, I'll throw somebody else up to ensure one of them go home. If you leave one of them off the block and that one that gets left off the block wins the veto, they'll yank the other one down and then both your targets are shot. That's what I would do. Chris, you're making a lot of good points. I agree with you with how many, if he does make it to the end, because we've never seen it before, it would be wild, but I don't see it. I don't see it. Kyle said Brittany is a liar. I literally trusted them so much up until the last HOH. If Michael didn't win and show his cards, I probably would have trusted them still. Oh, he's saying if Michael didn't win and show his cards based off of who he picked. Okay. If Kyle can drag Alyssa to the end, he deserves it. Not a chance. Not a chance that both of them get there. Not a chance. Here's the thing. It depends on how the jury votes, though, because no one might like him, but if people understand the strategy behind it, he may get votes. Like, I don't want to spill too much about the interview. I mean, I can't call it an interview, which I'm so pissed that I didn't get to talk to Joseph. It's like you give these questions, like, and honestly, I heard them read the questions to Joseph. I don't even know if Joseph knew that it was Derek and I interviewing. Like, they just said the winner's circle. And like, if they don't know what the winner's circle is, they have no idea. What's my prediction this week? Oh, it's so hard. I think that Turner ends up staying loyal to the outside group. I think he stays loyal to the outside group. That's probably why Taylor could go to jury. Michael wins veto and pulls Brittany down. Yeah. I can see that happening, but let me ask you this. Joanne. Do you think that if Michael is off the block and wins the veto and pulls Brittany down, do you think that Turner would put up Monty and then Monty might go home over Taylor? I don't know. Kyle threw so many people under the bus that they'll soon turn against him, except Alyssa, who's just a Kyle stan. Yeah, Alyssa's completely clouded by Kyle because of their relationship now. But yeah, I mean, people need to come to the realization that Kyle is literally out for himself and Alyssa. Like, I know Turner has a good relationship with Kyle, and so they align pretty similarly where, you know, Turner didn't want Alyssa going home last week, so he didn't really want Kyle using the veto. But if I was Turner, I'd come to the realization quick that it's like, bro, he is not here for you. He's here for himself and for Alyssa. And that means that you will probably get thrown under the bus as quick as the leftovers did. Oh, man, I couldn't agree with you more. Dice KX. The way Turner acted like him and Joseph weren't tight and lied for Kyle killed me. I get it's game. I just didn't like it. So listen, I had a take on this. I didn't really jump into Turner, but I jumped into the group aspect of this on the winner's circle. One, I thought it was so hypocritical and comical the way that Alyssa was grilling Joseph when, like, the dude that literally is sleeping with you, cuddling, tickling your back, you know, you're scratching his head, you're making out, you're doing more than making out. That guy was hiding a relationship. It's like he was hiding a whole separate family, and you're mad at Joseph? It just was stupid. And then I didn't like how everybody just seemed to be ganging up on Joseph. Like, I understand that Joseph created that conversation. He wanted to have everybody involved, but it just was like one after the next. Like, Kyle was, you know, piling Alyssa, Turner. I was like, just fucking, like, it bothered me. I was like, you're all just annoying. Oh my God, Kay is in the building. Shout out to Kay, the CEO. Don't fuck around. Don't fuck around. Kay's in the building. Shocked by Turner defending Kyle in that convo outside. I thought he would just sit there like Terrence was. I agree with you. That's why I was like, Turner, just stop. You know? Kyle destroyed everything he touched and created just to be in love. Hey, that's why sometimes showmancers are not good. Yeah, you could tell that the air got taken out of Joseph's sails, you know, which just sucks because you think about it. It's like that's what this twist does, right? If this twist didn't happen, Michael wins the HOH. Joseph is safe this week. Joseph isn't even close to being targeted by Michael. But the twist happened, and Michael was planting seeds about Joseph to Terrence. So now Terrence has the HOH. He likes Turner. He likes Alyssa. Kyle spills the beans. So who's he going to target? Joseph. So it just sucked. Turner has the same exact name as your friend Matt Turner. They also act the same. It's weird. It's mad funny. It was a hard episode to watch for everybody. Yeah. Do I blame Taylor if she doesn't talk to most of the cast after the season? I don't blame anybody for not talking to the cast after the season. It's like everybody goes back to the real life. Now, if Taylor allows social media to affect her not talking to people, then for me, that person needs validation through strangers, and that's like weird. Do you get what I mean? I don't know if you understand what I mean by that, but it's like if you allow these strangers on social media to cause you to not want to talk to people, like that is like you're seeking validation from people that I don't know. So I'm eager to see how that turns out. Although there's certain people that I don't think she will talk to because some of the shit that was said was like really OD. And then I think there was just probably a lot of people that she wouldn't talk to just because. Like, you don't talk to everybody after Big Brother. Like, I don't talk to everybody. It's just how it is. It's how it goes. You just don't talk to everybody. So I think there's going to be a part of the cast that she doesn't talk to just because that's how it goes. Then I think there's going to be a part of the cast that she doesn't talk to because maybe she sees some things that she didn't really like. And then I think there's going to be a part of the cast that, like, if she listens to social media, she won't talk to all of them. But if she doesn't, like, there's going to be people that she formed good relationships with and understands that that early phase of the game was just really chaotic and everybody was just jumping on the mob mentality. And it's hard to hold them accountable because the Big Brother house is really brutal. But if she doesn't talk to anybody, then I think she'll have allowed social media to, like, dictate what she does, which means that the validation is coming from what these people are saying. It's like, oh no, I want to please these people on social media that are telling me I shouldn't talk to anybody. And that to me is like, you know, I don't know. You guys get what I mean? But at the end of the day, I also think that Taylor is like a pretty fucking, I mean, she just seems like pretty honest. Like, I don't know. I think she is who she is. Like, and I also don't think she's going to put a lot of weight into social media. Like, I think she's going to be like, fuck it, whatever, I don't really care. That's who I view Taylor as. Like, I view Taylor as a person that'll just be like, whatever. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, it is what it is. I'm out of the house. Like, if Taylor doesn't win the game, she's winning America's favorite. So it's like, if I was her, I'd be like, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? And she's going to come off with the biggest following. She's going to come off with probably the most opportunity after this out of anybody on the cast. So it's like, she won anyways, even if she doesn't win. Wait, why do you think Turner was even defending Kyle during that moment? I just personally don't get it with what Turner was trying to do, especially towards wanting to protect his showmans. So I don't necessarily know that Turner was defending Kyle. I just felt like Turner felt that the entire group outside was going after Joseph, so he was just piling on. It was like, well, I didn't say that, or I didn't do it. It's like, yeah, you probably did. Like, I don't know that Joseph was making up anything that he was saying there. With Turner's allegiance to Kyle, I think it comes down to he just made a final two with him. That simple. Maybe that. Or he just really clicked with him. Like, they may just really click and bond and get along. And so it could be that as well. It was great seeing Tiffany on the show. Her energy was definitely needed this week. Yo, Tiff is the fucking best. Cody, I'm so glad you're not a Kyle fan because Reddit is on fire glorifying Kyle's game like Paul. I mean, I wouldn't say that I'm not a Kyle fan. Like, I don't dislike Kyle. I just don't, like, Kyle does shit that, like, I don't know. The whole aspect of his game with Alyssa is, like, kind of, I'm just, like, over it. Like, that's what happened for Kyle for me. I think Kyle has made some strategic plays that are pretty good, but I'm not, like, comparing him to Paul. Bold. So bold. Paul was a violently strategic, manipulative, like, Paul was it's almost insulting to Paul to have Kyle be put in that category. That's not even close. Kyle is not that player. Kyle is a paranoid player that tries to punch first, but he doesn't think about the long-term play. He thinks about the short-term play, and that is not Paul. Paul is not that guy. Paul is like thinking fucking 8 steps ahead. I just, that's how I feel. Some of the things that Paul did, I didn't like the way he went about it, but it's not even close. They're not in the same category. Cody Bam says hi. Bam, what is good? Bam, you still grinding on Fortnite? Huh? Little grind action on Fortnite? I think after leaving the house, you keep in touch with the people you really connected to. Some people don't jive and won't talk. It's like that in life as well. Unfortunately, social media is vile. I mean, excuse me. Yeah, I think that's normal no matter what. Like, there's best friends of mine that I talk to, like these are my best friends. Like, Cody, I need you right now. There in a second. And I talk to them like, I don't know, every other week maybe. Like, sometimes every like third week, maybe like 1 or 2 times a month, like something like that. And so there's people that you connect with and then you just, don't talk. Like, I mean, I really connected on my season. I connected with a lot of people, but I've really connected with Enzo, Danny, and I really connected with Nicole. We just haven't talked ever since because, like, the whole situation happened. And I was like, well, she doesn't want to talk to me. I'll let her be okay with it. And she's never reached out. But it's like there's only a group, you know, like I really connected with Tyler. I talk to Tyler like rarely. I'd be like, yo, what's up, dude? If he like, I'll like shoot him a message on Instagram. So it's like, it's just how life goes. It's not a matter of like, oh, I'll keep in touch with everybody. Like Enzo, like I invited Enzo to, it's just convenient for Enzo because Enzo and I live really close to each other. Like I invited Enzo to meet up with me this past weekend. Unfortunately, he had something, but like I'll shoot Enzo a text all the time. Like he's one of my best friends. Like that's my boy. Paul is right up there with you, Derek, Will, and Dan. And then somebody says he didn't win, but he didn't win. Oh, no, you said that, and then Tyranny said that, and then said, but he didn't win. So, yeah. I mean, the fact that Paul didn't win is like... I mean, I got to be honest with you, though. When Paul didn't win, I was happy. I was like, yeah, good. Because, like, I got to be honest with you, I didn't love... Paul just seemed like a... Like, Paul's play style was super aggressive to me. It worked. I'm not saying he was a great player. It just was aggressive, so I didn't love watching it. But I can appreciate a good game player. And so, when Paul didn't win, I was like, haha. Like, that's how I felt. In the moment, I was like, haha. But I still think he's one of the best players to play the game. Like, easy. He's probably top 5, in my opinion. I'm hoping that someone will cut the showmans out next week. I don't get why Turner's trying to backdoor Michael. Wait. So you genuinely don't get why Turner's trying to backdoor Michael? Come on. That's a bold thing to say. I think everybody on the planet that watches Big Brother, even Michael fans, are like, I get why Michael's trying to get backdoored. It's like he's won 6 competitions. He could have won this last veto and tied the veto record in a single season. The veto record in a single season is 5. When do I think they'll do another All-Star season? Probably, I don't know, no time soon, so don't expect it. I mean, think about the amount of time that passed. Think about the amount of time that passed between the first All-Stars and the second All-Stars, and realistically, they were not doing an All-Star season on season 22. 22. They weren't doing an All-Star season 22 if it wasn't for the pandemic. So don't expect to see an All-Star season soon. What was the strangest rule you had to follow? The strangest rule that I had to follow, I would say the most annoying rule that I had to follow was the singing. It's like not being able to sing was such a pain in the ass. Turner should have thrown it because he was in a good position with Taylor. Now people will know he's siding with the showman, so he will be a second option. Yes, I said this on the Winner Circle. Who? Anybody in here listen to the Winner Circle? The YouTube video is live right now. You can watch it on YouTube on the Winner Circle YouTube channel. The audio is out there if you're taking a drive or hanging out and don't feel like watching something but feel like listening. But I literally said that. Derek was like, I think Turner's winning this HOH, which he just calls shit, which is crazy. And I said, I don't think Turner needs to win this HOH. Like, yeah, you're at a point in the game where it's never smart to throw competitions, but based off of who was in power or like who was left in the comp, I was like, I don't think Turner needs to win this. Because I thought Turner would not have been targeted by anybody on the inside or anybody on the outside. So that's why I didn't feel like it was great that Turner won, but whatever. Michael Lyon, thank you for subscribing to the channel. Finn Sweet, thank you for subscribing to the channel. And Baby Bacon Cheese, how you doing? Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Please know that I do not like Kyle or Alyssa, but please know that I do not like Kyle or Alyssa, but even I would go after Michael. Yeah. I mean, Michael's the strongest player in the house. Baby Bacon Cheese, you love the Winner Circle? Love that. You just finished watching? Yeah, hell yeah. Me, yes, watched. Of course, I didn't have time to watch your last video. That's okay. No Turner needs to win. You said Turner needs to win. He has to show his cards at this point. I mean, why does he have to show his cards? Nobody was targeting Turner. Nobody was targeting Turner. Yep. I had to pause the Winner Circle at 38 minutes because you came on. Oh, Patricia, I love that. Love that, Patricia. I love the Winner Circle. The perspective that you and Derek bring is very interesting to see. I appreciate that, Twisted Jake. This game will get ugly. Oof. Denise, you sub too. I know, but Denise, I feel like, Denise, I got to be honest with you. I feel like you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Like, I can't even scroll far enough. I feel like you subscribed to my YouTube channel like a decade ago. You ordered a Winter Circle sweatshirt 2 weeks ago, hoping it comes soon. Let's go. Which one did you order? Did you order the you had to, we only do the Tiffany tweets in a hoodie, so we're doing like a whiteout for the end of Big Brother for the Winter Circle. So I'm really excited for that because I want a white hoodie for the winter. Like, I love rocking a white hoodie with a jacket, blue jeans, white sneaks, like, ready to rock. Jessica Lanning, thank you for subscribing to the channel. What was my major at Temple? You're a senior there now. My major was business administration with a focus in marketing. This Big Brother season is stressful for me, but I still watch. Yeah, this Big Brother season is pretty good. I'm actually really enjoying the season. Because there's like different things happening. Like last season, it was like, last season made me understand because I watched last season fully. Like I didn't miss episodes where normally with Big Brother, I was not a full season viewer. And last season I watched the full season and I understood why people were so annoyed when the big alliance runs through the game, like how it happened on 16, how it happened on All Stars. Like I get it because I was watching last season and be like, they're really just dominating the game. Like every week we ultimately knew somebody inside the alliance isn't going home. Somebody outside is going home, even if somebody inside the alliance didn't win. And so I was always just like I'm very eager to see what's going on the feeds, which is why I jumped on here because I'm like, holy shit, I got to talk. I was looking at what was happening on the feeds and I was like, oh my God, we got to talk about it. It makes the episodes more exciting. It makes, watching the feeds makes the episodes less exciting, but at least I'm excited to there's an aspect that I'm excited for. Like I'm excited to find out what's happening, what's going on. I wish that the feeds weren't a thing because it would make the episodes that much better. But still. Did I read Derek's book, The Undercover Edge? Find your hidden strength, learn to adapt, and build the confidence to win life's game. Yeah, I didn't read it. Cody still needs CC Alliance hoodies. Oh my God. That's right. I could actually probably do a campaign, but those are I might only get 5 of those, Denise, and just send them to the day ones. You know what I mean? Send them to the ones that were on Twitch right off the rip. Do I think Joseph and Taylor would make a good couple? Yeah. I mean, they were super flirty. Their relationship in the house was really organic. So yeah, I think they would. Twisted Jake, I'm just curious what juicy stuff we missed on the feeds after they went down. Lost media like that intrigues me. Oof. I'm almost done finished reading this book. Oh, reading his book. I don't know what I thought I saw right there. How is it? Seems like not many people end up staying in touch after the season. Yeah. I mean, it's tough. It's really difficult, staying in touch. I say this all the time. It's everybody always asks, do you stay in touch? Do you stay in touch? Do you stay in touch? I'm the best that I can. I don't stay in touch that super actively with my best friends, but that doesn't make them less of my friends. It's just they're working during the week. I'm working during the week. I'm doing what I'm doing. They're doing what they're doing. Then all of a sudden on the weekends, you're usually with your significant other, we get together still. I'm pretty good with getting together with my close group of friends, but it's do I talk to them every single day? Maybe a message. If I post something, usually my close friends will mock me on social media. They always have something to say. But holy shit, Zach is in here. How you fucking doing? It's not easy staying in touch. Yes. See, it's not easy staying in touch because everybody goes about their lives. So everybody goes about their lives and everybody has stuff's going on. And the hardest aspect is just that like simple text of like, hey, what's going on? Hey, how you doing? You know who's great at it? Zach. Zach does it. Zach stays in touch with everybody. Zach is the best at shooting a message out and just being like, yo, man, just thinking of you, just saying what's up. And I fucking love you for it, Zach. Good to see you too, man. Well, see you in here. See you in here. Doing the thing, baby. Doing the thing. Oh, yeah. You're my boy for life, Zach. I love you, dude. You're my boy. But, yo, all right. I got to roll out. I'm talking about all these, like, your best friends. You do this stuff. You do that stuff. I don't, see them. But I'm actually getting together with a couple of my best friends tonight. So I'm actually super excited about it. But I had to get on here because I wanted to talk about what was happening on the feed. So I'm really excited to see who gets nominated. Like, I am chomping at the bit to see who gets nominated right now. Before I leave, who do we think is actually going on the block? I want 2 names right now in the chat. And if you don't answer, I'm banning you from the channel. Brittany and Taylor. Taylor and Brittany. Taylor and Brittany. We actually think that? Taylor and Brittany. So you think that's what he's going through with? Michael and Monty? So we all think Taylor and Brittany. So that's what we think he's sticking to. All right. I love it. All right, people. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Everybody that subscribed to the channel, I appreciate it so much. We had a bunch in here. We had Jessica, Baby Bacon Cheese, Finn Sweet, Michael Lyons, ZB, Elizabeth Pierce, Ladyboy City. Yo, you know what's funny is I still see people following my Twitch. These random people are following my Twitch. I'm like, I'm not streaming on Twitch. All right, people. I'm out. I'll see you at the next one. Make sure we are super active on social when all of this shit goes down.